He just comes out and says, Caitlin Clark got the offer, Angel Reese didn't because Angel Reese doesn't move the needle.
Just now, Ice Cube rejected Angel E. Reese joining BIG3 League, and here's why. It all comes down to real money. Ice Cube shook the sports world when he offered Caitlin Clark an unprecedented $5 million deal to join the BIG3 League.
Caitlin Clark got a $5 million offer from Ice Cube's BIG3 League.
Proving once again why she's the most valuable name in women's basketball. Caitlin Clark, the undeniable ratings magnet, has brought record-breaking viewership and financial impact to every platform she touches.
Caitlin Clark is box office. She is a star.
Who, by the way, I'm going to go there, who happens to be white and brought a level of attention and allure to the sport it had not received before.
Her star power is so undeniable that Ice Cube didn't hesitate to make her an offer leagues like the WNBA can only dream of, but Angel Reese, nowhere close. Ice Cube himself laid it out.
She would not make the financial impact that Caitlin Clark would have made. We've seen that with everything across the board. Attendance, ratings, revenue, the whole nine.
Angel Reese just doesn't have the financial or cultural draw that Clark brings to the table. Reese might stir up attention on social media, but when it comes to putting fans in seats or delivering game-changing ratings, she's miles behind. Ice Cube didn't mince words.
And the fact that he just comes out and says, Angel Reese doesn't have it like that. I like watching her play, but she wouldn't have brought the eyes, the attention, and the impact to the BIG3 that we know Caitlin Clark would have brought.
Clark is the future, and Reese isn't even in the conversation, yet the media keeps trying to force Reese into Clark's spotlight, pushing false narratives and undermining the clear numbers that show Caitlin is leagues ahead. But the drama doesn't stop there. Caitlin's path to greatness has faced more obstacles than it should, thanks to gatekeeping and mismanagement within the WNBA. Ice Cube himself revealed shocking details about how Clark's agents and the NBA worked behind the scenes to block her from exploring the BIG3 deal.
I believe her agents were hating on it because her agents that she has are also NBA. They got a lot of NBA guys that they make millions off of. So I think they was like, man, we don't care if she making more money. She gonna go back to the WNBA. We're gonna keep everybody happy. We're gonna keep making our money from the boys.
Why? Because the WNBA and its allies can't seem to embrace a superstar who outshines the rest of the league, even when she could be their golden ticket. Today, we're breaking down why Caitlin Clark is the hero women's basketball desperately needs, how Angel Reese and her supporters continue to fail in trying to compete, and why the WNBA's inability to adapt is hurting the sport.
And my advice to anyone that comes in with this, this level of like notoriety, out of this world expectation, whatever the case may be, I just think it's all about having, be a horse, man. The Kentucky Derby, put your blinders on, go to work, show up to work, punch your clock in, prepare yourself, work on your game, work on your craft,
Ice Cube's $5 million offer to Caitlin Clark wasn't just another contract. It was a groundbreaking move designed to shake up women's basketball. The BIG3 League, known for its old-school physicality and star-studded rosters, saw Clark as the perfect player to amplify its growing popularity. This wasn't a casual decision. Ice Cube and his team analyzed the numbers, understood the trends, and recognized that Clark's influence could bring massive financial gains.
Caitlin Clark, what she's doing doesn't minimize what they've done, but we should have been giving her the credit. We saw the ratings, we saw the merchandise sales, we saw the attendance, but y'all want to make it about something else. Oh, what about the women that laid the foundation? What about this? What about it? That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is box office. She's doing this.
Her NCAA dominance and Rookie of the Year campaign in the WNBA proved she's not just an exceptional player, she's a brand that commands attention and revenue. However, Clark's opportunity to take the BIG3 by storm was blocked before it could even take off. Ice Cube openly stated that Clark's agents interfered, preventing him from even having a conversation with her or her family.
So they kind of made a business decision and didn't let us speak with her and her family because that's what we really wanted to do.
The rationale? Protecting their lucrative ties with the NBA. These agents saw Clark's potential, but instead of letting her explore an offer that could change the game, they chose to prioritize their standing with the NBA, fearing backlash. It's a glaring example of how gatekeeping in basketball can limit opportunities, even for a superstar like Clark.
Their agents was probably like, yo, are we gonna make the NBA mad? Let her play in the BIG3 for, a little commission and possibly alienate all these, these $1 million deals we got going and all these commissions we get with the guys.
Ice Cube didn't hold back when explaining how the NBA may have influenced this decision. He hinted that the NBA, which has historically tried to stifle the Big Three's growth, likely pressured Clark's agents into steering her away. This isn't just about one player or one league, it's about power dynamics in basketball. The NBA's dominance means even a league like the Big Three faces obstacles when trying to innovate. Unfortunately, Clark became a victim of this behind-the-scenes maneuvering. Ice Cube's frustration was evident when he called out the petty behavior, emphasizing that Clark's participation could have revolutionized women's basketball on a global scale. The $5 million offer itself speaks volumes about Clark's value compared to her peers. Consider this: a WNBA lottery draft pick earns a base salary of less than $80,000, with the highest earning potential barely scratching $100,000 after years in the league. Ice Cube's offer was 50 times that amount, a testament to how much faith he had in Clark's ability to elevate his league. Yet despite the staggering difference, Clark's team didn't let her entertain the opportunity. It's a frustrating example of how outdated practices and internal politics can overshadow talent and potential.
You take that same player and now you put her as the first professional female basketball player to play men's league at the highest level. Now it's an explosion of interest from people who can see if they can do it. So
this wasn't just about money, it was about recognition. Ice Cube wasn't just offering Caitlyn a paycheck, he was offering her a chance to redefine what it means to be a women's basketball superstar. By blocking this deal, her agents didn't just cost her financially, they potentially robbed the sport of a revolutionary moment. The Big Three League has carved out a unique niche in the basketball world, delivering a mix of nostalgia, physicality, and entertainment that sets it apart from traditional formats. Created by Ice Cube, the league brings together former NBA legends and rising stars to compete in 3-on-3 games that emphasize old-school toughness and crowd-pleasing excitement. Unlike the heavily commercialized and sometimes predictable nature of the NBA, the Big Three brings raw energy to the court, capturing the attention of fans who crave something different. What's most impressive is that the Big Three has managed to outshine the WNBA in key areas like ratings and audience engagement. For years, the league has pulled in higher viewership than the WNBA, with some games attracting as many as 700,000 to 800,000 viewers. In contrast, WNBA games often struggle to draw even half of those numbers. Ice Cube has built something truly remarkable, an alternative basketball product that resonates with fans by offering something the mainstream leagues often fail to deliver: pure, unfiltered competition.
Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
Caitlin Clark's addition to this league could have been the tipping point, a way to elevate the Big Three to even greater heights. Ice Cube wasn't just making a $5 million gamble, he was making a calculated investment in a player who has already proven she can bring audiences in droves. During her NCAA championship run, Clark single-handedly attracted 25 million viewers, a figure the WNBA as a whole struggles to achieve. Her magnetic presence, coupled with the Big Three's format, would have created a perfect storm of excitement, blending her record-breaking skills with the league's unique appeal. For the Big Three, Clark wasn't just another player, she was a key to expanding the league's reach both nationally and internationally. Ice Cube has openly talked about his ambitions for the league, including launching teams in cities like London and Toronto to build a global audience. Clark's star power could have been the driving force behind such expansion. Her ability to attract fans transcends traditional boundaries, making her an asset not just for the Big Three, but for the entire sport of basketball.
Caitlin Clark just came in to play basketball. All of a sudden, the black women of the WNBA decided to knock her on her ass from behind. All of a sudden, the black women, Angel Reese and her teammates, decided to cheer for them. All of a sudden, other black women decided, like Asia Wilson, to be idiots when talking about her, jealous when they're talking about her. Caitlin Clark and her fans didn't start anything.
But the potential impact isn't just about ratings or expansion. The Big Three's partnership with Caitlin Clark could have been a defining moment for women's basketball, proving that female athletes can command the same attention and financial opportunities as their male counterparts. By sidelining Angel Reese and focusing on Clark, Ice Cube sent a clear message. This league values talent, results, and the ability to draw real attention. It's not about playing favorites, it's about recognizing who truly moves the needle, and Caitlin Clark is that person. Unfortunately, the missed opportunity underscores the uphill battle the Big Three continues to face. Despite its success, the league has often been dismissed by the larger basketball establishment, including the NBA. This situation with Clark highlights the challenges of being an innovator in a space dominated by traditional power structures. Still, Ice Cube's vision and the Big Three's growing popularity prove that there is room for something new in basketball, and Caitlin Clark was poised to help lead that charge. While Caitlin Clark continues to redefine what it means to be a superstar in women's basketball, the WNBA has struggled to keep up with her meteoric rise. Instead of fully embracing her as the league's marquee player, the WNBA has failed to capitalize on the immense value she brings, revealing deeper issues within its structure and leadership. Despite Clark's ability to draw millions of viewers and boost the popularity of women's sports, the league's outdated practices and short-sighted decision-making have created barriers rather than opportunities.
And I want to personally thank Caitlin Clark for lifting up our sport. And it just is not going to stop here on the collegiate tour. But when she is the #1 pick in the WNBA draft, she's gonna lift that league up.
One glaring issue is the WNBA's inability to generate the kind of revenue that reflects Clark's star power. The league's salary structure is a testament to this problem, with even the top draft picks earning barely $80,000 annually. In contrast, Ice Cube's $5 million offered to Clark underscored the vast gap between what she is worth and what the WNBA is willing or able to provide. Instead of finding innovative ways to secure lucrative deals for players like Clark, the WNBA seems content with its current limitations, leaving stars to rely heavily on endorsements to supplement their income. What makes this even more frustrating is the WNBA's refusal to differentiate itself by promoting its biggest names as standalone brands. Caitlin Clark's record-breaking NCAA performances and her Rookie of the Year campaign were perfect opportunities for the league to position her as the face of women's basketball. Yet instead of shining a spotlight on Clark's accomplishments, the league has chosen to push parity narratives, often giving equal attention to less impactful players like Angel Reese and Aja Wilson. This misguided approach dilutes Clark's impact, failing to acknowledge that not all players bring the same value to the table.
But they don't want it to grow if it's certain people at the face. And there is still this undertone of jealousy that for some reason I cannot get around calling it anything else but that, because I don't know what else it could be. I thought it was going to get better this season, but it hasn't. There are still people who seemingly, to me, feel like they just don't want Caitlin to be a part of it.
Moreover, the WNBA's relationship with the NBA has also created unnecessary obstacles. Ice Cube's revelation about how the NBA's influence prevented Clark from exploring the Big Three offer sheds light on the broader challenges female athletes face. The WNBA's reliance on NBA resources and partnerships has made it difficult for players to seek opportunities outside the league's ecosystem. This dependency stifles innovation and discourages risk-taking, effectively limiting players like Clark from fully realizing their potential. Clark's success has also exposed the WNBA's struggle to appeal to a wider audience. Despite her star power, the league has failed to match her energy with strategic marketing and promotion. Instead of creating must-watch events around her games, the WNBA continues to operate in a way that caters to a niche audience. Clark's ability to draw millions of viewers during the NCAA championship proved that the audience is there. What's missing is the WNBA's willingness to evolve its approach. The ultimate irony is that while other basketball entities, like Ice Cube's Big Three, are eager to invest in players like Clark, the WNBA seems hesitant to fully embrace her. This reluctance not only hurts Clark, but also limits the league's potential to grow and thrive. The WNBA should be championing Clark as its golden ticket to relevance, yet its failure to act decisively has left the door open for criticism and for other leagues to step in where the WNBA has fallen short.
One more thing on Caitlin, which makes her super valuable, is she is leading the WNBA in points generated, which means points scored and or points assisted on. She is leading the league by a significant margin, and she is doing this as a rookie with a Fever team that is not comprised of a bunch of all-stars.
Caitlin Clark isn't just a basketball player, she's a movement, a force of nature redefining what women's basketball can achieve on a global stage. From Ice Cube's groundbreaking $5 million offered to her record-breaking NCAA and WNBA performances, Clark's name is synonymous with excellence, influence, and game-changing potential. While Ice Cube recognized her immense value to his Big 3 league, others, especially the WNBA, have hesitated, tangled in outdated thinking and political games. Meanwhile, players like Angel Reese and Aja Wilson struggle to keep up with Clark's undeniable magnetism. The media's relentless push to position Reese as a rival has only highlighted the gap between them. Ice Cube made it clear, Caitlin Clark brings real money, real fans, and real change, while others simply can't deliver the same level of impact. Reese and Wilson might talk a big game, but when it comes to actual results, it's Caitlin who commands the court, the ratings, and the spotlight.
My advice to Caitlin, kind of keep your mouth shut, because everybody is looking for you to say anything and they're going to splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing.
But let's not ignore the broader implications. Ice Cube's offer was about more than money. It was about setting a precedent for how female athletes should be valued in sports. Yet instead of celebrating this moment, Clark's agents and the WNBA's politics stepped in, blocking her from exploring a deal that could have elevated women's basketball to new heights. The league's failure to capitalize on its brightest star isn't just a missed opportunity, it's a warning sign of the challenges holding women's sports back. Still, Clark's journey is far from over. Despite the roadblocks, she continues to thrive, proving that talent and hard work will always rise above the noise. Whether she's shattering ratings, inspiring the next generation, or dominating the court, Caitlin Clark is the hero women's basketball not only needs, but deserves. Her legacy is already being written, and it's clear she's destined to transcend the game, no matter where her career takes her.
Caitlin Clark is becoming the best player, not because she's white, because she's that good. She's having Larry Bird impact. She's been the driving force of the hottest team in the entire league, despite her record turnovers. Why? Because she's that good. She's legit good. She's colorblind good. She's guilt-free good. She's apolitically good.
So what do you think? Was Ice Cube right to bank on Caitlin Clark over Angel Reese? How much longer can the WNBA afford to play politics instead of celebrating its real superstar? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this conversation isn't over. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on Caitlin Clark's journey. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time with more breaking news on the legend herself and the world of women's basketball. If you're ready to dive into the latest and greatest moments in women's basketball, you're in the right place. Here on WNBA Original, we cover everything from breaking news to inspiring stories, bringing you closer to the action and the players who make it all happen. Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications, so you'll always be the first to know what's happening on and off the court. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more from WNBA Original.